Today we'll be making Jason Voorhees' mask from Friday the 13th. These are things you'll need: a cheap hockey mask, a pen, drill, scissors, JB weld, small washers, spray paint, super glue, sandpaper, paintbrush, red Testors paint, masking tape, black acrylic paint, Nutmeg acrylic paint, and raw sienna acrylic paint. First off, I started just covering some of the holes on the mask, because on Jason's mask those holes aren't there, so I just covered those up, and I will fill those in later. But then I started marking out where all the other holes were going to go that I needed to drill out, using a caliper just to try to make my measurements accurate and concise, which mostly worked. I think they turned out pretty even, and I think they turned out good. It did take a while though. It was kind of hard finding where they would all go, because this mask is a little bit, the shape is a little bit different than the actual mask. Then I marked out axe mark that the mask has for future reference. Then I drilled out the nose hole, and to make drilling easier, I was putting a dent in the plastic so the drill bit had something to go into. And when I was doing that, it kind of exploded. So just remember to have something solid under that so it doesn't break, and just be careful, because this is very cheap, thin plastic. But then I just started drilling out the holes, which took a little while, especially because it kind of broke a little bit, but I was able to fix it, don't worry. I just used a piece of wood under the mask. I just placed it under the mask so that when I was drilling, I just had a solid base and the mask wouldn't flex. And I was constantly checking my measurements, just making sure that it was even and it won't look offset or just look dumb. So kind of helped me get in the general area. When you do drill thin, cheap plastic like this, there will be some pieces of plastic that get melted and then cooled again, and that's called flashing, and you will have to clean those up after you drill all the holes, because they don't look very good. So yeah. Then I cut out the axe mark just with some scissors, and I used some pliers to clean it up a bit. Then I just got some two-part epoxy, and I just used that to fix the giant crack that I made. And then to fill in the holes, I used some JB weld, and I filled those in, and then the next day I sanded them down, just so they're nice and even and look flush and look like it was a part of the mask the whole time. And they weren't holes that I filled in. Then I sanded the whole mask, just so the paint had something to grip onto, because I didn't want the paint to chip or peel. So I just went over it with sandpaper, just roughing it up. Then I added some washers on the cheek area because if you look at the actual mask, there is some details there. Then I painted it just a primer gray, primed it in gray. Then I painted the back black. Then I painted the front like an off-white kind of eggshell color. Kind of, I had to do multiple coats just to get the color I wanted. And then for the red triangle, I just printed it out and then use a piece of masking tape and cut the shape out of that and put it on the mask just so I could center it and get it to my liking. I painted it with some red Testors paint. I did like 2 coats on it and it covered pretty well. The masking tape kind of worked. I did have to clean it up a bit, but it worked pretty well. So I repainted it just to make the triangle more triangle-like. And then I did a black wash over the whole thing. Just to make it look dirty and weathered and all gross. It was kind of a thicker black wash because I did really want to add a lot of color and depth to this thing. Make it really look gross and dirty and grimy and yeah. Just cover the whole mask and wipe it off with a paper towel. And then I mix some of my brown paints together and cover the whole thing just to make it look more like dirt and, like, I don't know, just aged. And it works pretty well. I'm actually really happy how this turned out because I think it looks absolutely beautiful. And when you let it dry and you're done.